What happened at the birth of the universe 14 billion years ago? I don't know, do you? It's a puzzle that's challenged scientists, scholars, and the religious since long before history was written down. Now, scientists in Switzerland are hoping to be able to shed some light on this age-old mystery.
Deep underground in Switzerland, scientists flipped the switch on the world's largest machine this week, bringing the Large Hadron Collider back to life. They're hoping to unveil the secrets of the universe.
It's considered as a new beginning for our understanding of the universe and particle physics. The Big Bang experiment was again carried out in the world's largest and most powerful accelerator at CERN on the Swiss-French border.
Scientists at the European Organization for Nuclear Research, or the CERN, successfully smashed subatomic particles into each other and at record energy levels. It has been described as a major breakthrough in the world of physics.
What CERN have done is they have built a new injector, a new linear accelerator called LINAC-4 that will replace the current one called LINAC-2 in order to increase the amount of protons that you can inject into the Large Hadron Collider.
What they're trying to do, you can see a picture of it there. Look, does that not look out something out of Star Trek? 10,000 connections just in that picture right there. 300 feet below ground. And this is where these beams of light will collide. What are they trying to do? They are trying to collide these beams and find what's called the God particle. They want to find the beginning of the universe. They want to replicate the Big Bang theory and the Big Bang, and collide these and find out what comes off of them. Because what you have is you have matter, that's what you see right now. Then you have antimatter, which is what you can't see. And you have dark matter. And what they're trying to discover is what's holding together matter that they can't see.
Okay, take us through that, because looking on the internet, I saw there was a petition online. People were signing a petition saying they should stop the Large Hadron Collider because it will create black holes that will consume the whole universe or destroy the world. Surely you don't believe that, do you?
Certainly not the universe. It is just our little planet that is at stake. And also the danger is a danger that can be assessed beforehand. And it would take about a week to assess this danger.
What, the black hole theory, is that not acknowledged by CERN?
Not quite. I mean, they started out that being the main reason for doing the experiment. And when it turned out that there is maybe some danger involved, it became second and third rank in the agenda. But that's not a problem. The problem is that mini black holes, if they are generated, which no one knows, but which has a certain probability, people disagree about the probability, but I would say it's about 1 to 12 with this new energy level. And the question is then whether they are dangerous or not.
Well, wait, so the question is, now, is it a 1 in 12 probability of us being swallowed up by a black hole, or something else?
You see, it will take a while. It won't swallow the Earth within months or seconds. It will take at least 5 years. But still, such an outlook is something that should be discussed heavily before going ahead. And this discussion, which needs 1 week among scientists across the world, could be done, and I think has to be done, if there is a reason that has not been falsified yet. Sorry,
okay,
yes.
that 5-year time limit is not reassuring to me.
Just a final thought, because you came up with a lovely line talking to our producer saying, nature is tricky to understand. Every time you peel back a layer, the universe presents you with something else that you don't understand.
That's absolutely true. It's why when eminent colleagues like Professor Stephen Hawking say that we might just be around the corner from having a theory of everything, in my experience that hasn't been the case. Every time we reveal something that we didn't know before, suddenly there are more unanswered questions. So we found the Higgs boson, but we don't know much about it. How do we measure its properties? How does it then interact with all the other particles that we've already seen? Those are the kind of questions that we're constantly trying to answer.
Essentially, science believes that this God gene is the particle that gives everything mass. By itself, it may not seem very interesting, but in Stephen Hawking's new book, all of a sudden, there's a reason to pay more attention to it. Communicating with the assistance of a computer, Hawking talked about his new book, Starmus. That's when he revealed the Higgs boson could potentially become so unstable that it could literally cause space and time to collapse. According to Hawking's premise, if this phenomenon were to take place, he says it would cause a type of black hole on Earth. He went on to say this could happen at any time and we would never even see it coming.
A large portion of CERN is located in the territory of St. Genus Poli. In Roman times, it was called Apolliacum. The town and the temple were dedicated to Apollyon, the destroyer, Shiva, or Horus. The very city that CERN is sitting on is the ancient temple to the god Apollyon, which is today in the Hindu temples Shiva, which is the goddess of destruction and recreation. Destruction of what? It's the only goddess, catch this, out of the thousands of gods that are out there, it is the only one, the only deity that claims to destroy the universe for the purpose of recreating it. It's it. So would it shock you to discover, whoops, let's read this out of Revelation. To him who was given the key of the bottomless pit, he opened the bottomless pit, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue his name is Apollyon. The bottomless pit is connected, according to our Bible, to the god Apollyon, which is Hasatan himself. And the very temple of Apollyon is sitting right dead center in CERN. Here's CERN's logo. Now I'm going to stretch this just for a little bit, but if you look at this, you will see 666. As a matter of fact, I looked at this for a long time, like, oh, wait a minute, there's more than 3 sixes, and then I discovered, no, there's not. There's only 3 actual 6s, and there's 2 9s. I don't know what that means, but maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know about you, but if I'm creating a logo, I really don't want it to resemble 666. But they did. So this is the epicenter, or the facility, the main headquarters of CERN, right here. That's their logo right there. And outside of their main headquarters, this is amazing to me. It is the only corporation in the world that has a deity as its mascot. Because corporations don't like to be connected to religion. They just don't. But this is the largest of its kind, and the deity that is found outside of its headquarters is Shiva. Ancient Apollyon, the goddess of destruction. And if you look very careful, this is thousands of years old. If you look carefully, what does that look like? It looks like the exact picture of the Stargate that they're creating 300 foot below ground of the collider. In their own videos, they use it. Just so you might think that I'm not crazy here, the director of research in scientific computing at CERN has this to say about the colliding. Something may come through dimensional doors at LHC, and out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. Why is that so important? Because you have to understand, you can read all of this on their website, the purpose of CERN for the last 60 years has been to open up a portal of time-space. They want to open up a black hole, what's called a miniature black hole, because when you collide these two, theoretically, it will tear open the time-space continuum for as little as 3 seconds, as much as 26 seconds. That was 6 years ago that they determined this. And it will create what's called a miniature black hole. Something will come through.